France's attack for the World Cup is seriously scary. Kylian Mbappe.
Still going, Mbappe, and he's on his own! And he carries them!
Ousmane Dembélé.
Est-ce que ça va finir au fond, ça? Oui! Oui! Je vous le disais il y a quelques instants.
Michael Olise.
And Olise sparks France into life!
But this team isn't just dangerous up front. It's stacked across every position, and it is this depth that has turned them into the final boss of international football. But here's the scary part. It's not just the talent, it's how complete they are. France aren't only loaded, they're organised, adaptable and drilled to execute under pressure with a level of unity you simply can't fake. So what makes this France side so complete? And why, compared to their previous teams, do they look so well placed to win the World Cup this time? On July 9th, 2006 in Berlin, the final whistle rang out like the closing act of a Greek tragedy. It marked the fall of one of football's greats, Zinedine Zidane, and the brutal end of French football's golden generation. 16 years later in Doha, another final whistle echoed. It confirmed defeat for Les Bleus, certainly, but a heroic one. Not an ending of another era, but the affirmation of an existing dynasty and the coronation of a new king, though some in Madrid would call him a dictator. Between these two World Cup finals, France underwent a complete cycle of collapse and resurrection. From complete humiliation to global supremacy, the national team hit a reset button so sharp it felt like post-nut clarity. And out of that reckoning, they forged a new identity more resilient and pragmatic than before, one no longer reliant on the genius of a single icon, but grounded in the strength of the collective. At the centre of that transformation was Didier Deschamps. Appointed in July 2012, Deschamps brought with him a winning mentality and an uncompromising culture of leadership, having captained that very golden generation to World Cup and Euro triumph in 1998 and 2000. Yet, as a player, he was never the flashy hero and instead served as a workhorse of a defensive midfielder, one who did the dirty work so that others could shine. It was precisely that mentality, however, that France required in the wake of the scandals that scarred the team between 2008 and 2010. He immediately imposed a clear doctrine: no untouchable stars and zero tolerance for indiscipline. He didn't chase the beautiful football that purists goon over. Instead, his teams were constructed on structure, resilience and adaptability. His pragmatism, often labelled inelegant and even ugly, drew criticism then and continues to do so today. But Deschamps remained unmoved. For him, only results have ever truly mattered. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, we'd be incredibly grateful if you subscribed. Your support helps us grow and continue creating the content you love. After laying the foundations at the 2014 World Cup and Euro 2016, Deschamps' philosophy reached its apex in 2018, the crowning achievement of his tenure, second only perhaps to becoming the first true Frenchman to conquer Russia. During the tournament, France abandoned possession, averaging just 49% and ranking 20th of the 32 participating teams for this metric in favour of a compact block designed to suffocate space and unleash devastating counterattacks. In truth, Deschamps' system was calibrated precisely to his players. The tireless running of N'Golo Kanté and Blaise Matuidi, Pogba's range of passing, Giroud's selfless hold-up play, and above all the explosive pace of Antoine Griezmann and the prodigious Mbappe. Their knockout wins became a study in tactical control, calibrated chaos against Argentina, controlled composure against Uruguay, iron discipline against Belgium, and clinical efficiency in the final against Croatia. The triumph bore Deschamps' imprint of a side that was, first and foremost, difficult to beat. It also announced the then 19-year-old Mbappe to the world. Yet above all, it was a triumph of the collective, embodied most by Giroud, who bagged the same number of goals as I did throughout the tournament, but whose impact on overall play proved indispensable. The title win was no accident either, but also the product of a formidable development structure, anchored by the National Football Institute at Clairefontaine, the French Federation's elite academy long responsible for cultivating a pool of technically gifted players. That depth explains how France could afford to lose established stars such as Pogba, Kanté and Benzema on the eve of the 2022 World Cup and still reach another final, and why they could very well do so again this year. France will arrive in North America with one singular objective: to reclaim the trophy they lost on penalties in Qatar, and even sweeter, to lay hell on Argentina in the knockouts to avenge that final defeat. They certainly possess the pedigree to support that ambition. In just over 4 decades, France have secured 2 World Cup titles, 2 European Championships, and the 2021 UEFA Nations League, a record that places them firmly among the modern game's elite. They also came within a breadth of consecutive world crowns in 2022. But even a historic hat-trick from Mbappe wasn't enough to prevent defeat in a final widely regarded as one of the greatest matches ever played, as well as one that caused us more than a few heart attacks. Where other teams might have fractured after such heartbreak, France used it as fuel to storm through World Cup qualification. Their qualifying campaign was almost too easy. Top of their group, unbeaten, and qualified for an 8th consecutive World Cup, sealed by a commanding 4-0 victory over Ukraine at the Parc des Princes. Their defence was invincible for much of the campaign. Just 4 goals conceded in 6 matches, while 16 goals scored reaffirmed that their attack remains as formidable as ever. So, as the showpiece event returns in 2026 for what will be Deschamps' final act and something of an end of an era, France will arrive as determined as ever to bring the trophy home, buoyed by the extraordinary depth of their squad. Deschamps has consistently favoured a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, both systems designed to keep the team compact, disciplined and lethal in transition. At the back, Theo Hernandez, William Saliba, Dayot Upamecano and Jules Koundé will be expected to protect Mike Maignan in goal like a condom. And even there, the depth is staggering. In midfield, balance is everything. 2 of Adrien Rabiot, Aurélien Tchouameni, Warren Zaïre-Emery and the ever-reliable Kanté typically anchor the side, helping France maintain their shape, control transitions and release the forwards at the right moment. But while Les Bleus are well stocked in defence and midfield, it's in attack where the options become more overwhelming than a kid in a candy store. And when you look at the names available, there are a few you simply cannot leave out. At the centre of it all is Mbappe. Now 27 and wearing the captain's armband, he has evolved from prodigy to a proven talisman. Since his big move to Real Madrid 2 summers ago, his game has matured into something more complete. The blistering pace is still there, but it's now paired with a cold, ruthless edge in front of goal that makes him even more dangerous. For France, Mbappe is more than just a goal scorer. He's a psychological edge. Seeing him in the blue shirt carries the same aura as Real Madrid on a Champions League night. Notably, he's on the verge of overtaking Giroud as France's all-time leading scorer and now sits just 5 goals shy of breaking the record for the most World Cup goals ever. And he's just 27. Alongside him, Dembélé feels just as indispensable. After an injury-ravaged start to the season, the 2025 Ballon d'Or winner has rediscovered his best form since the turn of the year, bringing unpredictability and directness to France's front line. Michael Olise has also emerged as a near-automatic starter. Creative, composed and fearless in one-on-one situations, his season numbers tell the story of a player who entertains just as much as he delivers in stats. And there's the new PSG generation. Désiré Doué and Bradley Barcola were central figures in the club's treble-winning campaign. They represent France's future, but they're equally ready now. Rayan Cherki, now at City, fits that mould too, with his raw talent and ability to change a game in seconds, making it difficult for Deschamps to overlook him. With Hugo Ekitike ruled out through injury, meanwhile, the race for backup striker spots is wide open. Marcus Thuram offers power, presence and big game experience after a standout season with Inter Milan. And the fact that he has already had a taste of World Cup action may work well in his favour. Randall Kolo Muani, who was included in 2022 for the then injured Christopher Nkunku, has been left out this time round in favour of Jean-Philippe Mateta after a troubling campaign at Tottenham. The Crystal Palace striker, by contrast, has impressed in flashes for both club and country. Injuries have slowed his momentum, but his profile gives Deschamps a different tactical option. Historically, the head coach has always struck the right balance, resisting the temptation to spam the squad with attackers and instead preserving the structure that has made France so formidable. This modern France side doesn't arrive at World Cups hoping to compete. They arrive expecting to win, and when they hit their stride, it takes something truly extraordinary to stop them.
Pressing in the midfield, that's an area that perhaps you could exploit against France, if indeed you get a team like Spain that can dominate the midfield because of the quality of players that they have in that area. But outside of that, if you look on paper, and again, this is all on paper, you have to play the game, there's no argument to be made against France.
If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you never miss a beat. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.